The SCP Foundation is a highly classified organization dedicated to the containment and study of anomalous phenomena that defy the laws of nature and threaten the very fabric of our reality. Operating in secrecy, the Foundation works to protect the world from the knowledge of these dangerous and often deadly SCPs, utilizing advanced technology and specialized containment procedures to keep them locked away from the public eye. With a network of research facilities and containment sites located around the globe, the SCP Foundation is staffed by a team of highly trained scientists, engineers, and security personnel who are tasked with understanding and neutralizing the threat posed by these anomalous entities. Whether it be supernatural creatures, bizarre artifacts, or otherworldly phenomena, the Foundation will stop at nothing to ensure the safety of humanity and the stability of the world as we know it. SCPs include living beings and creatures, artifacts and objects, locations and places, abstract concepts, and incomprehensible entities which display supernatural abilities or other extremely unusual properties. If left uncontained, many of the more dangerous anomalies will pose a serious threat to humans or even all life on Earth. Information on SCPs and the Foundation is strictly withheld from the general public in order to prevent mass hysteria that would supposedly occur if they were leaked and allow human civilization to continue functioning normally. When an SCP anomaly is discovered, teams of undercover Foundation agents, often called mobile task forces, are deployed to either collect and transport the object to a Foundation facility, or to contain it. Its location of discovery, transportation is not possible. If an anomaly is too widespread, elusive, or otherwise inaccessible, containment usually consists of suppressing all knowledge of the SCP from the public. This is accomplished through censorship of mass media and dosing eyewitnesses with amnestic drugs which erase their memories of anomalous events. Contained SCPs are studied and researched by scientists in order to improve containment methods for them. The Foundation also acquires human test subjects, usually convicts from prisons, forcing them to take part in experiments involving certain SCPs. Considered to be disposable, these D-class personnel are used in experiments with particularly dangerous SCPs to avoid risking the safety of Foundation employees themselves. The Foundation maintains documentation for all SCPs which they are aware of, which can include or link to related reports and files. These documents describe the SCPs and include instructions for keeping them safely contained, as well as supplementary incident reports or experimentation logs. Apart from the Foundation itself, there are numerous rival organizations, referred to as groups of interest, which deal with SCPs for various purposes. Examples of major groups of interest include the Chaos Insurgency, a terrorist splinter group consisting of ex-Foundation defectors who attempt to weaponize SCPs, the Global Occult Coalition, GOC, a secret paramilitary agency of the United Nations which specializes in destroying supernatural threats instead of containing them, and the Serpent's Hand, a militant group which advocates for the rights of anomalous beings, resisting both the Foundation's and GOC's efforts to suppress paranormal activity. Other groups of interest seek to exploit anomalies by producing or selling them for monetary profit, and using them to serve their own religious, political, or ideological goals. Additionally, the SCP Foundation has a complex network of alliances and adversaries with other organizations. They also maintain a specialized task force of elite agents known as the MTF, Mobile Task Force Units, who are tasked with various operations and missions such as tracking down rogue SCPs, investigating and neutralizing threats from rival organizations, and carrying out covert operations. These agents are highly trained and equipped with advanced technology to deal with the anomalous threats they face. But despite the Foundation's efforts to contain and study these anomalous entities, there have been instances where containment has failed, resulting in devastating consequences. One such example is SCP-682, an extremely hostile and powerful reptilian creature that has the ability to regenerate from any injury and has been labeled as the end of the world. The Foundation has been unable to permanently neutralize SCP-682 and has had to resort to constantly containing and reapplying heavy firepower to keep it contained. Another example is SCP-096, a humanoid entity with immense strength and a severe psychological disorder causing it to fly into a rage and seek out individuals who have viewed its face. SCP-096 has breached containment multiple times, resulting in numerous casualties. These are just a few examples of the countless dangers that the SCP Foundation deals with on a daily basis. It is essential that these anomalous entities remain contained to prevent any potential harm to humanity. But as with any secret organization, there are always risks and unknowns that cannot be predicted. It is crucial that the public remains vigilant and aware of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. Remember, the SCP Foundation is here to protect you, but it is ultimately up to us to ensure the safety of the world. The SCP Foundation also has a number of secrets that they have kept hidden from the public. including the existence of a parallel universe known as the SCP universe, which is accessed through specific SCPs and anomalous locations, and the existence of a group known as the SCP Foundation Keter, which is made up of the most dangerous and unpredictable SCPs and is only known to a select few within the Foundation. The Foundation also has a number of anomalous events that they have kept hidden from the public, such as the Mandela Effect, which is a phenomenon where a large number of people remember a specific event differently from how it actually occurred, and the Yellow Spring Incident, which was a catastrophic event that resulted in the deaths of thousands of Foundation personnel and the containment breach of several SCP objects. Despite their secretive nature, the SCP Foundation's main goal is to protect humanity from the dangers of anomalous phenomena. However, their methods of containment and experimentation have been controversial, as they often involve the use of deception and force, and they are willing to sacrifice lives in order to maintain secrecy and contain dangerous SCPs. It is important to remember that the SCP Foundation is not the only organization dealing with anomalous phenomena, and that other groups may have different agendas and methods of dealing with these threats. As an SCP Special Secret Agent, it is my duty to track down and contain anomalous entities that threaten humanity and the natural order of the world. My career has been long and dangerous, and I have come face to face with some of the most terrifying and inexplicable things you could imagine. One of the most memorable SCPs I've encountered is SCP-633, a mysterious and seemingly sentient computer virus. It has already caused a lot of damage to Foundation equipment and personnel, and yet, we still have not been able to fully understand its purpose or its capabilities. Containing it is an ongoing struggle, and the Foundation must constantly be vigilant in order to prevent it from causing any more damage. And then there was SCP-035, a sentient and malevolent mass of flesh known as the Possessive Mask. It has the ability to possess and control anyone it touches, and has caused countless deaths and destruction. Containing this SCP is a difficult task, as it is able to break out of containment with ease. I've also dealt with SCPs that have more subtle, but no less dangerous effects. SCP-173, also known as the Sculpture, is an animate statue that moves quickly and silently, killing anyone who looks away from it. It took a lot of careful planning and split-second timing to contain this one. And then there are the ones that are just plain strange. SCP-087, a stairway that seems to lead down into an endless abyss. SCP-999, a playful blob of goo that can heal any injury. These are just a few examples of the hundreds of SCPs the Foundation deals with on a daily basis. It's not just the SCPs themselves that make the job so dangerous, but also the rival organizations that seek to use them for their own ends. The Chaos Insurgency, the Global Occult Coalition, and the Serpent's Hand are just a few of the groups that we have to keep an eye on. Despite the risks, I and my fellow SCP agents continue to work tirelessly to protect humanity from these anomalous entities, but it's important for the general public to know that these SCPs exist and the dangers they pose. If containment were to fail, the consequences could be catastrophic. It is my hope that by sharing this information, people will be more aware and take necessary precautions to avoid these entities. As a senior agent of the SCP Foundation, I have witnessed many anomalous events that have been kept hidden from the public. One such event that was kept hidden from the public was the discovery of SCP-914, also known as the Clockwork Orange. SCP-914 is a large mechanical contraption that can refine and enhance objects placed within it. The Foundation had originally planned to use SCP-914 to create a new generation of advanced weapons and technology, but testing revealed that SCP-914's abilities were not only unpredictable, but also highly dangerous. Several test subjects exposed to SCP-914's enhancements resulted in tragic and fatal consequences. The Foundation was forced to contain SCP-914 and keep its existence hidden from the public to avoid widespread panic. One of the most disturbing events I've witnessed during my tenure with the SCP Foundation was the discovery of SCP-049, also known as Plague Doctor. SCP-049 is a humanoid entity that claims to be a medieval plague doctor and asserts that it can cure all forms of disease, including incurable ones like cancer and AIDS. However, SCP-049's methods of treatment are highly unorthodox and involve the reanimation of the dead. SCP-049 has been known to kidnap individuals and conduct unauthorized experiments, turning them into zombie or other forms of reanimated corpses that SCP-049 refers as cured. I have also seen SCPs that can manipulate reality itself and SCP that can potentially destroy the world if not contained properly. The Foundation has also been forced to contain rogue agents that decided to use SCP objects for personal gain. The Foundation has to deal with many different groups and organizations that seek to acquire or exploit SCP objects for their own purposes, and it's a constant struggle to keep these entities contained and prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. One of the most difficult aspects of my job is dealing with the ethical dilemmas that arise in the containment and study of SCPs. The Foundation's mandate is to protect humanity, but in some cases, that means sacrificing the lives and well-being of a few individuals for the greater good. It's a heavy burden to bear, and one that weighs heavily on the conscience of all Foundation personnel. Overall, my experience with the SCP Foundation has been both enlightening and terrifying. The things I've seen and the secrets I've been privy to have changed me in ways that I never could have imagined, but despite the challenges and horrors I've faced, I know that my duty to contain and protect humanity from these anomalous entities is a noble and necessary one.